Hey! The last digit of your like on this video by each who you are from Melon Playground, and the last digit of your subscription to my channel will show your Melon Playground item. So go down right now, subscribe and give me a like. Look at the screen. Notice the last digit of your like and your subscription and write in the comments who you are from Melon Playground. It's simple, if your like is number 8 and the last digit of your subscription is number 5, you're a lemon and a cactus. Show your imagination and enjoy the show. Hello dear friends, you are on Melonfonk channel, and in this video we are going to talk about secret myths in Melon Playground. But before I start the video, as always, I want to say a huge thank you to these guys right here for being in my video. If you want to be in my next video, it's pretty simple. You need to subscribe to the channel, put a like, write your top comment. But also don't forget to subscribe to Telegram, because the link is in the description. Anyway, I won't be with you for your time and enjoy your viewing. The myth is quite complex, but very interesting. It's more of a construction, or maybe it's some kind of mechanism, I don't know how to call it right. In general, write in the comments. The essence of this myth is that you can make an infinite fireworks. More precisely, a salute that can be built by yourself and that will be easy to launch. This salute I invented on my own, so you won't find such a thing anywhere. I can leave a ready-made version so you don't have to make it yourself. If you need it badly, I'll leave it in the cart and you can easily download it. It's pretty simple. Well, in order to make this infinite salute or customizable salute, I have not yet given a name to this mechanism, then we will need a button, a lever and 2 contraption spawner, as well as stands to easily barrel fall. All eyes on the screen. On the screen you can easily notice how to do this or that action, so that you will succeed. We put the 2 contraption spawners opposite each other. It needs to be lengthened so that it falls comfortably, so that it falls. I experimented a lot with different blocks, with different, let's say, objects, but they are all not heavy enough and in general they simply do not fit, and the barrel for this is ideal. Next, in the menu spawner you need to select a file, click on the Select Save File button and select the barrel. All this should be done on the left spawner. Left spawner connect only to the lever and from there should appear only barrel. Button must necessarily freeze, so that it then nowhere jumped away. Be sure to make 2 supports so that the barrel falls strictly on these supports and also as if not overweight and everything clearly worked. In general, just repeat my actions so that everything will work for sure. Then it is important to set the parameters for each of the spawner, so that not clearly by a certain time spawnubly a certain items, so that on the right spawner fall only salutes, and on the left spawner fall only barrels. On the spawner with the barrel I have these parameters. Anyway, I set everything to 60. The delay on the spawner is 60. Once a minute turns out to spawn a barrel. And the delay on the despawning I also have 60. Once a minute it is a barrel, if the lever is activated falls and respectively once a minute it disappears. It turns out that we have a button that activates another spawner is activated. In this case I forgot to tell you about the flamethrower. It also needs to be placed and the muzzle of the flamethrower should be aimed at future fireworks. It also needs to freeze and it is very important. It is very important that the lever should not be freed, otherwise it will not work. The lever can be fastened with ordinary iron chains, for example. In general, whatever is convenient for you. The button should also be freed carefully. As you can see in the video, I had a little problem with it. In general, the trick is that the button can freeze, that is, the top gets, and the base of this button. In the end the mechanism will not work. It is very important to fix just the base of this button. Further, you on the right spawner need to set also parameters here. You can experiment. In general it is basically unimportant. You can set a certain periodicity. For example, if you want the salutes to spawner once 10 seconds, then set on the spawner itself 10 seconds, that is the value of 10. If more than that 20 and so on, and when the salutes are already spawner they fall on say so a barrage of flamethrower fire and just start shooting upwards one by one and explode very nicely. So basically you get an endless fireworks show. And of course all these actions can be simplified and without the barrel and so on, but I think it's cool when it works from one lever. And when you do not need to click 10 times and just set the value and let it fall indefinitely and explode. And yes, forgot to clarify, and since with the new update salutes fall at us, let's say so a little askew, then be sure to disable collision at the right spawner. At the left, it is absolutely not necessary to do this. If you want, you can certainly do. This spawner did not prevent future salutes from flying upwards. In general, write in the comments whether you like this mechanism, and if you like it very much, I will of course leave it in my Telegram. The link is in the description. And let's move on to the next myth. Recently one of the subscribers wrote to me, added a new character Cactus, but no one has not checked how after all these updates he rots. In general, let's check how we have all our new characters rot, in case something changed. And according to myth, the cactus has a special rotting color. Let's check it out, it's very interesting. So we'll put some of these, let's say, spikes on the map, on which we'll put our melons. And we'll wait a few dozen minutes. This spawner did not prevent future salutes to fly up. In general, write in the comments whether you like this mechanism, and if you like it very much, I will of course leave it in my Telegram. The link is in the description. And let's move on to the next myth. Recently one of the subscribers wrote to me, they added a new character Cactus, but no one has ever checked how after all these updates he rots. In general, let's check how all our new characters rot, in case something has changed. And according to myth, the cactus has a special rotting color. Let's check it out, it's very interesting. So we'll put some of these, shall we say, spikes on the map, on which we'll put our melons. And we wait a few dozen minutes. And see what happened to our melons. I think it's very interesting, and after about 10 or 5 minutes, I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a while, we can see that the cactus has fallen off its thorns, when it completely, let's say, started to rot. In fact, the rotting process is the same for all of them, they all started to change color to a dark green. The pumpkin and the apple are especially interesting looking, probably because they have different colors from the other melons, so they have this interesting dark green color, like I don't know, some kind of mold. Well, basically a cactus has no specific rotting process, it rots just like the others, so the myth remains a myth. Which is very interesting. And let's move on to the next myth. And the next myth goes like this. Did you know that our melons are basically some kind of SpiderMan? I don't know, SpiderMan? Basically, if you put our Christmas tree up and put melons on top of it, our melons will stand on them weirdly. It's like they're some kind of, I don't know, birds. They levitate very strangely, and it's like it all works outside of the law of physics. It's very funny and very interesting. Let me know in the comments if you knew about this, but we'll move on to the next myth. In update 20.0, the developers paid special attention to fixing bugs, but I think they overdid it, because they fixed the bus. Now the top of these parts are disassembled, and when the bus starts to crash, these parts fall off. Which is interesting, but I think that the fix for this bug could have been released much earlier. I think the developers should bring back the old tradition and release an update once a week. You have some bug update ready, then you should drop it right away, instead of waiting such a huge amount of time for players to play on an essentially unready game. Basically, what is the myth? If you take a pause and try to clean up these parts, they will clean up, and when you turn off the pause, we can have this interesting effect that you see on your screen. It's very funny, but of course the developers should probably fix it somehow, though. And as you already know, developers have added a new Christmas tree, and if you try to decorate it beautifully with garlands, you basically have little good. After all, if you try to keep the already ready beautiful Christmas tree, then everything will not be very. And look what happened to my Christmas tree. It really starts to get rich in the realities of the game. It just starts to nice to valigatal and everything ends badly. But if you do it on pause, it more or less it works. Garlands somewhere fly away as if in the corner of the map, and I think that the problem is not only with the tree, it can be done with any other building if you make a building with garlands. And personally, I've already encountered this when I made my buildings for my video, and I left the idea of building with garlands of peace because it looks very cheesy. And let's move on to the next myth. Well, and the next myth is, what if we try to make a huge Christmas tree just on the whole map and try to vacuum the branches that will vacuum? Our little vacuum cleaner can suck. Let's give it a try. Magnifying our Christmas tree to this huge state. It's all over the map. It's just crazy. Put our little vacuum cleaner on and activate it. Can it suck up the fallen branches? Look, it actually works. These huge branches are absorbed by this little vacuum cleaner. They disappear strangely, of course. I think the developers should do a better job with the garbage on the map and with the vacuum cleaner, because so far it works very strangely. Come on, it really works. This myth is confirmed, and if you don't believe me, check it out. Well, this is the end of my video. Thank you all for watching. Good luck to everyone, goodbye to everyone, and remember, buddy, as always, see you the other day.